tired out from all that singing and dancing. I hope you guys had as much fun worshiping Jesus as I did today. All right, well, are you ready to start our learning? We're going to start our learning off today by doing some remembering. Remembering is a big part of learning too. Does anybody out there, boys and girls, do you remember this? It's our God's big story picture. All year we've been learning about the Bible and how the Bible is one big story of God's love. So let's see if we can remember. We're almost all the way through, but let's see what we can remember from what we've done so far. So at the very beginning of the story, we learned that God made everything. He made the whole universe, all the stars in the sky, all the oceans, and God made man and woman, and everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. And God made people so that we could be close to him. We could be his friends, and we could love and worship him forever. And everything was perfect. But then something went wrong. God's enemy, Satan, he disguised himself as a snake. And he went and he told lies to the first man and woman, Adam and Eve. And Adam and Eve believed the lies. And you know what? It was really sad because then Adam and Eve, they chose to do things their own way instead of doing things God's way. They disobeyed God. And when you choose your way over God's way, when you disobey God, that's called sin. And sin breaks your friendship with God. And when Adam and Eve sinned, everything in creation broke. And it separated them from God. And all of us ever since then have had to put up with that consequence, that we are separated from God because of sin. But God loved us too much to let us stay apart from him. He made a promise. He didn't want to be apart from his people. So he made a promise way back at the beginning that he was going to send a rescuer to come and save us from sin. Well, we heard that for a long time, God's people waited. They waited and they waited. We heard lots of stories about exciting and amazing things that God did while God's people waited for that rescuer to come. And finally, after so many years, the rescuer came. Who's the rescuer, boys and girls? Jesus, that's right. Jesus was born. And then when he was here, he died on the cross. And when he died on the cross, he died to take the punishment for all of our sins. But did Jesus stay dead? No way, Jose. 3 days later, Jesus rose again. He came out of the grave and he showed that he beat sin and death. Wow, it was so exciting. Jesus' followers and his people were so happy. But then Jesus went back to heaven. And he said before he went, he made a promise. Oh, here comes that big promise. He made a promise that one day I'm coming back. I'm going to prepare a place for you, and one day I will come back. But in the meantime, he gave his people a job to do, and they're supposed to tell everybody else. And so, since Jesus went back up to heaven, we've been waiting. Just like the people before, we've been waiting. And we've heard stories about people in the Bible that were in this part, but did you know that we are part of the story? We're right in here somewhere. We're waiting too, because the end of the story hasn't happened yet. There's something else that's still to come. What does it say? It says, Jesus will return. He's coming back. He's in heaven right now, but he's getting it ready to bring all of his whole family back up to heaven. He gave us some clues in the Bible that tells us a little bit about it. And you know who knows a little bit about it? Scooter and Beth. Should we go and see? What do Scooter and Beth have to say about God's big promise? Let's go check it out.